Oliver, thank you very much for joining us again. Congratulations on the win. Why did it all work so well for you out there tonight?
Yeah, thanks, because the players did great. So everything, we're a little bit surprised by their system. They matched us in a 3-4-3, but the players knew exactly what they have to do. And I think in the first half they missed several chances. And what I was really impressed today, because all of a sudden it was 1-1. They scored the equalizer, but then the momentum could change. But we stayed in the game and we made pressure and then scored amazing goals. So really big credit to the players for their performance today.
It was so impressive because we spoke to you before the game about the importance of getting a win here at home, because it's been a long time coming in the league. You've been on such a good run away from home. So what did it mean to you all just to see the fans in this stadium happy at the end?
Yeah, of course. This is. But to be honest, we didn't talk about a win today. I think we talked too much about winning. We just talked about what we have to do. We know exactly how they want to play, and also always finding the players in the pocket, short passes, and they're doing so well, especially at the beginning. McGinn could solve it several times, and then when they get their attacking players which face to face to our defenders, with Rodgers, with Watkins, then it's very difficult to defend. And they did really excellent. We didn't give them the pocket very often. We kept them wide, and we were waiting for our situations, and we scored nice goals, and all really players were performing on their top level today.
Oliver, you spoke about knowing how Villa wanted to play, and I thought you were really patient in your shape, but when it was time to go and press them up high when they played it from the goalkeeper, you looked really good, really aggressive, and you got some goals from it. Is that something you spoke to the players about before?
Always talking about it, and that's what I meant before. Even then when it was 1-1, we stayed patient, because it's when their keeper has the ball, they want to is that their trap, then you open the pocket, and then with 1-2 quick passes they find the players in front of your defense. And we stayed patient, we waited, we had some triggers, and the players really did excellent. And then it's about being aggressive, winning the duels, and let's say the second goal is maybe the perfect one, how we want to score, winning the ball. And then Adam Wharton with the pass to Eberechi to the far 10, we always call it, and then JP is there, so fantastic goal.
Oliver, congratulations on a brilliant performance. I just want to pay a special reference to Eddie Nketiah tonight. I know it's been difficult for him for his time at Crystal Palace, but for somebody like that, young, coming into this football club, playing second behind JP Mateta and some of the forward players, that was brilliant for him tonight to score that goal.
Oh yes, I told the players now. It's for me. I'm so pleased for Eddie, because I see him working so hard. And we all know strikers, they need minutes to play. They need goals for their confidence. And I didn't give him many minutes in the last games. And he always worked so hard in training. He scored goals there, and then I could see that he wants this goal, and then today, he scored it, and I'm so pleased for him. And because we need every single player. We have a tough program in the next weeks. got his 10th yellow card, will be banned for 2 games, and so really it was a great team effort again, and so pleased for Eddie.
What a performance from Adam Wharton as well, back starting for the first time since October. He's been out for so long, had surgery on his groin and in that injury as well, and he's come back into the starting lineup today, and these guys were both so impressed with him.
I think he was a bit rusty at the beginning, to be honest.
I wish I could play like that if I was rusty.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes, he had to get used to the pace of the game, but it's normal when you're out for a few months. And then again, credit to him, and also credit to our medical staff and the rehab staff. So they worked really well, so it's good to have him back. We all know that he's an excellent player, and he's. I think I mentioned it before the game. He's so smart in anticipating the balls, and also he showed it today.
Oliver, where do you think you can take this football club? Of course, last year was a brilliant end to the year, 10th in the Premier League, and then sat 12th at this moment in time. For us, when you look at performances like that, that's top 6, top 7 performances. A fantastic performance tonight.
Yeah, but I know we're playing 4 days against Millwall here, in the round of last 16 in the FA Cup, and will be a completely different game, because they play more long balls and don't. So we will have to find solutions in possession. We expect against a very deep block, and so this is my focus is just on this game, and then we will need the same effort, we need the same sharpness to win this game, and then we can rest, and then we can talk about the next game. But I always next game, and it makes no sense now talking about May, because so many things can happen. But of course, all the results, the performances in the last weeks and months give us confidence, and let's see where it ends.
For now, enjoy the victory tonight, Oliver, and thank you so much for coming out to talk to us. Congratulations on a big 3 points.
Congratulations. Thank you.
It's really interesting because one of the first things Oliver Glasner said to you guys just now is that he was quite surprised about how Aston Villa set up in this game, but they obviously just had to change things, they had to work things out, and they managed to come away with their biggest home victory this season.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised as well. They very rarely switch to that three at the back, but it just shows you the respect that Unai Emery has for this team and Oliver Glasner as well, because they had to kind of match up and do something, because I said before, it's been very difficult games coming here, but even at Villa Park as well. So, look, they've done okay in different areas, like especially in the first half, but as it wore on, they had a lot of attacking threat on, and I just thought defensively they looked a little bit vulnerable.
OK, we are going to take a look at the goals after the break, and we're going to be bringing you more reaction here from Selhurst Park. Hopefully we'll be hearing from Unai Emery, and we'll be taking a look back at all of the goals scored here at Crystal Palace tonight. A 4-1 victory for the home side. Welcome back to Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace have beaten Aston Villa by 4-1, a much-needed home win for Oliver Glasner's side. So let's take a look back at how the match unfolded, because despite Aston Villa's good start to the game, it was actually Crystal Palace, Sean, who took the lead through Ismaila Sarr.
It was, and we spoke about that at half-time, you know, the quality of the balls into the box, you know, keeping it alive, you know, not wanting to play too many passes on the outside. Again, a brilliant ball back into the box. We spoke about the disappointment of the goalkeeper. Perhaps that that was the start of his problems, why he came off at half-time, Martinez. But it was a good ball into the box, a decent header by Chris Richards. But I love the way that Ismaila Sarr gambled. He's the one at the back post straight away, and it was a good start from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it was a good start from Crystal Palace to take the lead. In the first half, Aston Villa had a goal disallowed, and it was so tight. But in the second half, changes were made by Unai Emery, and then they managed to get the equaliser through Rodgers, Alan.
Yeah, Rodgers does really well here. He anticipates what Ollie Watkins is wanting to do here. You just see him highlighted. He runs across Gahey, which makes it very difficult. Lacroix can't get back across, and Richards as well. He does really well just to spin him and get real good contact on it, and the goalkeeper's got no chance of goal. But that gave them the lifeline they needed, but they just couldn't then go ahead after that because Crystal Palace were too good for them.
It was a great turn and finish from Rodgers, wasn't it? But just 8 minutes later, Crystal Palace were back in front, and it was that man, JP Mateso, who we talked about before the game, has just been in such good form since the start of the year.
Absolutely, but you see where Chris Richards starts to press. You know, he recognises that Aston Villa are trying to play out. Richards pinches
what a hit, by the way.
It was a fantastic hit. But what I love most about this, and I'm sure he meant it, it was a great little touch by Eze. I don't know whether he was trying to get a penalty, but look how close they play together. The front three really, really dynamic, and a wonderful hit. Execution of the finish was brilliant.
We were sat just behind that, and the power, I mean, you could almost feel it from where we were sat, Alan.
I think he was trying to take the leather off the ball, to be quite honest, but it was, look, that's a guy he's in confident form, and you could tell by the way he's taking that. It's bouncing, it's not easy, but real good contact, and goalkeeper absolutely no chance.
2-1 though, you never know what's going to happen in a game, so how important was this goal, Sean?
Oh, it was so pivotal in the game, of course, you know. And what I loved about this goal is there was 3 or 4 bodies in the box, but Daniel Munoz decides to pull across back, and he stayed onside, fantastic. Sarr just hangs out the box here. He doesn't want to go inside the 6-yard box, and the way that he picked him out was brilliant. And I love the technique of the finish. The technique's superb.
It's really quick and clever, isn't it?
Very, very. I mean, most people put that over the bar, but he's very calm and composed at the right moments. But what I liked about Crystal Palace was they chose the right moments to go and press. They know Aston Villa are going to try and play it out from the back, and they had little triggers, and they went for, even the manager said, and it worked out a treat.
And Sean,
all the goals came from that though as well, Jules.
Yeah.
You know, that was definitely a game plan tonight.
You enjoyed this goal for Eddie Nketiah, didn't you? The first one he scored in 36 Premier League appearances, going back to his Arsenal days.
Well, I did, because, you know, he's come with a big money, a big price tag. You know, it's not really happened for him here at Crystal Palace. Maybe he's played in different positions that he doesn't want to play in, but to get a goal, you know, to get a goal like this, it was a good goal for him as well. Keeps himself just ready, knocking on that door, saying to the manager, I can be that guy who scores goals.
You can see just what it meant to him as well, Alan.
To all the
Oh,
team.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And that's what you love to see. He's coming here wanting to prove himself, wanting to score goals and play week in, week out. It's not quite happened, but that will give him the confidence from now on in. They've got a big second part of the season, if you want, for him. So if he can add goals as well as the other players that they've got up top, then they can have a good run in.
4 goals scored by Crystal Palace tonight. It's now 45 goals conceded for Aston Villa this season. Let's get the thoughts of the Villa boss, Unai Emery, talking to Matt.
Unai, clearly not the result you wanted. I guess not the game you wanted. You were very agitated on the sideline from early on.
Good evening. We were competing well until the first goal we conceded. We were good positioning. We were dominating the match. We were creating some chances. We had one goal, but Beer refused it, and the only first chances they had, they scored. Then they got some transition. We were of course very aware, working it, but even like that, they had after the goal some transition. And the second half we started a little bit again trying to come back the result. And they had as well the first chances, but then we scored. We were excited and motivated again to try to continue in controlling of the game with our positioning. But they scored the second goal, and then a little bit we lost our positioning on the field. We conceded some transition, and they scored another 2 goals more. Of course, it was a tough result. Tough match, we knew before. We compete well, but was not enough, and move on.
Yeah, which you have to do because so many games. But you had to make changes again tonight from the start and at half time. Is that part of why it was difficult for your team tonight, maybe?
Of course, try to use different players in different moments. We did like that the plan, but of course when we were with the result against us with 2, 3, 4 goals was completely different, and we can analyze 90 minutes in different parts of the match, and of course with the different players, and try to move on.
Yeah, disappointing night for Aston Villa, Alan. Big week coming up, big couple of weeks with the FA Cup and, of course, Champions League knockout football on the way. How do they ensure that this doesn't affect that run?
Well, it's a difficult run. There's no getting away from that. Some huge games coming up, and they'll look over this and they'll try and pick the bones out it, become better. But I just think defensively they were very poor, and that's what let them down. And they can't be like that against the likes of Bruges.
Yeah, it's crazy to think 45 goals conceded this season.
It's just not good enough. Something has to change. You can see it changed the shape to try and help, but tonight it just wasn't to be.
Alan, Sean, thank you very much for your company here tonight. There are